Congratulations to you, Christopher, and the rest of the Boston Celtics fans out there. Good to see. I know, right?
I'm just. It was tough to even feel joy. I was just exhausted and relieved.
Well, I mean,
Sunday night.
But you're also a New England sports fan, so it's very tough to feel joy. You could just stop your sentence right there.
I don't understand that. How are they not happier?
Unless they're unhappy. Officiating, disrespect, whatever, what have you.
It makes no sense to me.
It's all bad.
It makes no sense you have that much success and you're... Like, I haven't won a title since 95, and look how happy I am. Like,
I know that.
You know, like, come on, Chris.
And the Celtics and the Warriors, that's going to be a hell of a matchup. And we pour one out for Miami Heat fans. Despite Jimmy Butler's best efforts in games 6 and 7, one of the greatest games 6 and 7 an individual has ever posted on, we might learn one leg, right? And how incredible he was in Game 6 to force a Game 7. We were basically, having fun that, LeBron James is not walking through that door for Game number 6, and that Jimmy Butler walked in the door and played the role of LeBron James, damn near coming up with a 50-piece in Boston to force a Game 7. And a Game 7 in which the Celtics were dominant until the Heat popped a run on them to make it a 3-point game, only to have the Celtics take control of Game 7, only to have the Heat take control back and actually have the ball in Jimmy Butler's hands down 2 with mere seconds to go, forcing it chip by chip, possession by possession, to make it a 4-possession game, then a 3-possession game, then a 2-possession game. And then finally it was a 1-possession game, and the Celtics had the ball, couldn't put it in the basket, and now had a transition opportunity with Jimmy Butler leading it. And he pulled up for 3 for the YOLO shot. The shot that if it had gone through the net, and again, this is the stuff we talk about, with the Buckner play and the and the Bartman grab and the miracle on ice, is that we assume like that would have been the end of it, but it wouldn't have been the end of it. There still would have been time left on the clock. Right. It's not like there was no time left. Everyone's like, well, we've been talking about this shot for 50 years, unless the Celtics got the ball back and scored.
Right.
And they were going to get the ball back.
Still 17 seconds.
There were, and they had a timeout. And there's, the Heat were out of timeouts and looked like they were out of chances until they had a chance. And here comes Jimmy Butler, and we're showing a shot of it right here. I mean, Al Horford's backing up, and Butler could have gone potentially right by him for an and one or gotten to the line. Instead, he pulls up for 3 with 17 and a half to go. And from my position on the couch, as somebody who wanted, my son to be happy, but for you and everyone else who's a Celtic fan to be miserable, Chris, sorry to say.
I understand.
I honestly thought, what's he doing? Yeah, I thought it in real time. This is not a second guess. No, I didn't.
When he pulled up, he didn't think it was going in?
Because I saw it looked like he pulled up and didn't have his legs under him.
Yeah.
His jump shot, I know he had been making everything, but I just saw the way he went up. And then when it wound up short, it just looked like he didn't have his feet completely under him, which is totally understandable with him, as I said, maybe playing on one leg and played every second of Game 7. Yeah. As valiant an effort, as diehard an effort, as remarkable an effort. For you Heat fans, I'd wish he had taken it to the basket.
Well, no matter what, even if he had, he would have got a whistle. He would have got a whistle.
Got a whistle and gone to the line for 2.
They had been getting every call that entire game.
I have no problem with Butler pulling up for that, because Jimmy Butler, like you said, he played all 48 and 7. Yes. He played 46 minutes in Game 6.
And he made everything.
They're not there without Jimmy Butler. Correct. So, and also, I think one thing you didn't mention is all those minutes. That might have been Jimmy going, I don't have the energy for overtime.
Yeah.
Like,
I don't want 5 more minutes.
I don't have 5 more minutes in me. But I don't think anyone can. Look, that's name any team superstar that carried you, and if they pull up and take the shot, that's when you go, okay.
Let me just try to end this.
So I personally, but I'm not a Heat fan, so I don't know how they feel. But just as a basketball fan, I was like, okay, like
Heat fans wouldn't have saw it because half of them left the arena already.
Oh, wow.
Well, I mean that game was almost over. I mean, when Strus made that 3 to make it a 1-possession game,
oh my gosh.
I audibly, I screamed and got off the couch. That's when it became really real. The rest of the time was, this is a nice try by the Heat here. But when Strus made the three to make it that 2-point game and the Celtics didn't score down on the other end, that's when it got real fast.
Wide open shots.
Real fast.
That's
got real fast.
Marcus Smart took like your last 4 or 5 shots.
Well, Tatum was getting doubled, and he made the smart pass to the open man, and the open man needs to make the shot.
But I feel like that would have been the story had the Celtics not won. It was like, why is Marcus Smart taking the last 4 or 5 shots of the game for Boston?
Had the Celtics not won, we would have been talking about one of the worst.
It would have been a different narrative all on Tatum
of all time.
Oh man, up 13 with 3 minutes to go. Like, how do you not close that out?
But it happened. Congratulations. Al Horford is no longer the oldest or the most tenured player in the history of the NBA to not make the finals. That person is now whoever's the oldest person on the Knicks. And and the Warriors and Celtics are going to be a great matchup. I can't wait for it.
Where's this Al Horford in Philly? That's my question. Now, I thought the man's career was over when he played for the Sixers, and now look at him. Looks like he'd go 5 more years.
He looks terrific.
Jeez.
He looks terrific. Hey, you watched all the way to the end. Thanks for that. Watch more right here.